Hey, we're back.
You're watching How to Start.
How to Start.
Lauren Francesca.
Lauren Francesca, Brad Grunberg. Let's do this.
Today we're talking to my friend Maddox.
Maddox,
What's
how
up?
you doing,
Thank you for
buddy?
having me. Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
And you do everything. Like you're
Yeah.
just like super talented. I remember when I went on your podcast, you had all your merch organized. You have like out of your office, you just have this army kind of going, and you do everything. But one thing that you actually showed me how to do, you were one of the first people who told me how to grow on Twitch. So
Yeah,
I thought,
yeah.
let's talk about this.
Sure. Yeah. Which is a coincidence because I happen to wear this shirt. I'm not an official spokesperson. I'm not repping Twitch in any capacity. But yeah, Twitch is like the new hotness, and I feel like Hollywood is probably 3 to 5 years behind on most trends in digital, and they still don't understand the full power of Twitch. Like if you go to TwitchCon, the entire convention center is surging with energy, and it just feels like it's new, it's hot, there's all the money is going there. It's an amazing platform.
That's great.
Yeah.
I got to get on that.
Yeah, you should. You're not on Twitch?
No, I am now.
Yeah, well, you gotta make sure you get your name and all that stuff.
Okay.
Get a picture up there.
Okay, all right.
You don't even have to be a gamer. So that's the thing.
yeah.
It's like kind of, it started with like the whole gaming platform, but it's becoming like they have an IRL, which is in real life, like whatever you're doing in real life. If you want to cook, if you want to, you could even do this a talk show, like a real-time talk show, if you wanted on Twitch.
Like this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Actually, we're streaming right now. Say hi.
Oh, hey.
Hi. Hopefully somebody's watching.
My mom.
Yeah.
My mom's watching.
Does she watch?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
She loves you.
Oh, good.
And now she's going to love you.
My mom listens to my podcast sometimes, and she says, "Yeah, I was listening to your radio show the other day." Close enough, Mom.
That's right. That's great. Just say yes, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So
great.
you've been online for how long now?
21 years. 21 years. Yeah, it's been 21 years now. It was 21 years in August. So my website is very old school. And I always tell people, we were just talking about this the other day on my podcast, where it's not enough to be talented in one thing. It just isn't. You have to be a jack of all trades or a Jill of all trades. You have to be able to, write and create artwork and produce content and edit and master your own audio and color correct. All these things that people kind of take for granted when we watch on TV, you have to learn how to do when you produce content for YouTube and digital for yourself.
So you're like your own man crew. I mean, you have to be the master of all those things.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So my background is I started on the web. I have this old school, it still looks like an old school GeoCities website. It looks terrible. It's called The Best Page in the Universe. That started in 1997, so it's older than Google. Google didn't exist back then.
Wow.
Google came in 1998.
Sure.
So it's very old school. And then I parlayed that into a book writing career. I've written 3 books, and then I wrote a comic, worked on a calendar, created tons of merch, did the Twitch stuff, my podcast network, worked on like TV shows, video games, things like that. So you just have to like kind of learn everything and jump in and teach yourself, because no one's going to teach you.
So why did it start for you in 1997? What was your impetus? Like, oh, I'm going to do this. Were you like going to college and you were like, isn't that what I want to do? Or?
That's a good question, Brad. Honestly, it's just I had free web space. So you know how when you log into your internet service provider, way back then, it was mostly AOL or something else. Well, I had something else. It was this internet service provider called Xmission. When you sign up for an account, it came with some free web space. So it was usually like it's something people used to post like, oh, here's my recipes, and here's like my home. But I started posting rants. and little by little, the rants caught on by word of mouth, and then it snowballed into like millions of views eventually, and an entire career. So.
Do you do rants on Twitch too?
No, on Twitch I decided to do something different. I try to take advantage of each platform and each medium. So on Twitch, since people are tuning in, and the whole Maddox persona is like, I'm right, you're wrong, I know everything. So tune in, and I'm going to teach you something. I'm going to teach you how to play video games. I'm going to teach you how to 3D model. And this is like pulling the curtains back a little bit, but I'm kind of crap at modeling. And my fans call me out on it all the time. I'm like, how dare you? Kick that person out of my chat room. You're never going to come back. And they eat it up. They love to see that kind of dynamic.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Do you block? Like, if you're getting nasty comments, like, what's your advice for our viewers out there? What do you do?
Well, it depends. It depends on the type of comment. I used to never block, but there's a type of troll who is there to promote themselves or promote something that they're interested in. If they're just there spamming and they're just saying the same repetitive comment, that's not fun.
Right.
You know, if somebody has a genuine criticism, of course, I welcome that. Criticize me all you want. Criticize me. Everyone criticizes me all the time, and that's fine. But if it's just somebody like spamming or repetitive and they're not adding anything to the conversation, it's like, all right, you know, it's kind of like when you hear old classic radio show calls where someone would call in and just like blurt out the name or URL of something, and then you're like, okay, you hang up because you're not adding anything to the conversation. But yeah, Twitch is such an interesting platform that I feel like people aren't really even taking advantage of fully, because you can do anything on the platform. So for example, Lauren, you know that we play Fortnite. We've played Fortnite together.
What's Fortnite?
You don't know what Fortnite is? Oh.
Hello? I'm new to the game, baby. Come on, you're teaching me.
We gotta play
Sorry,
some Fortnite.
I know, we gotta play some Fortnite.
So it's like a first-person shooter that you have like Call of Duty or you know, like those gun games, right?
Yeah.
Except it also adds an element of building, real-time building. So you have to not only be good at the shooting, but you also have to be good at resource management and building. To think of the dynamic, like in real time, creating like Tetris blocks around you to protect yourself, and you have to gather resources, gather ammo, and it's a very involved game. A lot of fun. So we played that together. Something I started experimenting with, which I don't think anyone else on Twitch is doing, is the game has a lot of foliage in it, right? And foliage is green. So I looked at it one day and I'm like, well, that could be a green screen. And so I decided to put my webcam behind the game instead of in front of it. So whenever I pass a patch of grass, my face pops up, and it's very unsettling. And so
wow.
I experiment with the format and the platform. People love it. Like, people join the stream, they're like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting to see your face.
And you're a handsome guy, so they're.
Oh, thank you very much.
Well, you know.
All right, I'll take it.
We're very truthful on this show.
Oh.
Now, can you give us some tips and tricks, like some because I remember when you were first explaining it to me, you had all these tips.
Right.
Do you want to share?
Yeah, of
Can
course.
you give us some of your secret sauce?
Yeah.
To say grow your audience, is that
To grow your audience, to stay consistent, to time management, because I feel like I do a lot too, and that's one thing that I suck at. It's like,
Really?
Yeah.
Time management?
Yeah, you're
like,
pretty good.
yeah,
You have so much going on, but you do. I mean, listen, you definitely do better than the next person. I mean, time management is so important in life.
It absolutely is. Lauren, you're one of the hardest working people I know. Like, no joke. She's constantly working.
Come on, let's give her a little
Absolutely,
yeah, right?
absolutely. You
I
like
love
3 in the
that.
morning, you'll see her doing a stream or like, you know, posting a new thing.
Doing
it.
yoga.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean,
a lot. There's a lot going on. Yeah, so time management, yeah, it is important. Procrastination is a problem, right? And it's a problem I personally dealt with. And I got a book, and it kind of talked about some strategies. So there's a book on how to defeat procrastination. That book was like 120 pages, and then someone wrote an abridged version of that book. And so that book was like 50 pages. I'm like, I'm going to read the shorter version.
Is there a Cliff Notes? That's
Yeah.
I'm a Cliff Notes guy.
Yeah, perfect for a procrastinator.
Yeah.
But one of the big rules is if it's a task that you can finish in 2 minutes, do it immediately. If you can just get it done and get it off your plate. And if you can't, all the other tasks throughout your day that you can't finish, write them down. Because your mind is kind of like computer memory. So you stack a bunch of different tasks and they just cycle through. It's like, oh, I got to do this thing, I got to do that thing, right? So for people like us who are just constantly working and producing content, it's really important to organize that and write down the things you can't get to today, so that at least it's unloaded from your mind and you can focus.
That's good. No, I like that, yeah.
And now to your other question, how do you grow your audience on Twitch? Well, novelty is important on Twitch. If you're doing the same thing everyone else is doing, why would anyone watch you?
Right.
You either have to have a stellar personality, you have to be playing a game that nobody else is playing, or you have to be super good at what you're doing. So all 3 of those things, if you combine all 3 of those things, have a stellar personality, play a game nobody's playing, and be really good at it. That's the secret sauce to Twitch. Because people get tired of seeing like everybody streaming Fortnite.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to experiment with the format and put my face behind the game.
I love it.
What about ASMR? What do you think about ASMR?
This is a good question. I was just talking about this last night with some friends. Creeps me out.
Talk like this for the rest of the podcast then.
Oh no, I absolutely do not.
Everybody talks like this, right?
I don't know. It's so weird. I don't get it. But like my friends swear by it. They sleep to it. It feels like somebody is in my mind that I don't want there.
When you say sleep to it, do you mean like it's like the ocean? Put you to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, kind of like that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, it's like, you know, nail tapping and page turning and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen people.
Or the rain, or whatever people like.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, page flipping. There are people who have.
Focus magazine, page flipping.
Yeah, that's a
Like that, Ange, I threw that in there for you.
People have some really relaxing voices. There's a guy in particular, his name is Ken Nordine. He does word jazz. And I highly recommend you look him up on YouTube.
Okay.
But it's not ASMR. That's the type of voice I can listen to forever. It just sounds great to listen to. You know, like an old twinkly man who just like, you know, has a weathered voice, and it's fun to listen to.
Very soothing.
Very soothing, very warm, like a warm fireplace of a voice, you know?
I got you.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is going to be the emerging thing on Twitch now? Because I feel like since it's so new, there's so many different people posting on there. What do you think is going to be I know video games is like #1 right now, but they actually just broke down IRL to a bunch of subcategories. So what do you think?
I think the next step for Twitch is going to be 24-hour programming. So they're going to want to create Twitch like a cable type network where you go and you tune into certain channels and you know you're going to get a certain type of content with regularly scheduled programming. And they're going to probably start getting the biggest people from the platform to start hosting those shows. And it'll be 24-hour live content. I think that'll be very fascinating because essentially we're seeing it now. There's a service called Pluto. Are you familiar with Pluto?
I've heard of Pluto, yeah.
Yeah, so for those who aren't familiar, it's kind of like a cable network but made from like internet properties and internet channels. It's fascinating. I think it's essentially YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you create a channel and it shows you a bunch of content from that channel.
Yeah.
But Twitch is a live platform. They don't go there to watch archived footage. So I think that's probably what's coming next.
When you said they're going to look for some of the big players in Twitch, could that be the man?
Could be, guaranteed to be, yes. No, I don't know.
I hope. I'm channeling some good energy.
Have you ever done a 24-hour live stream?
I have, yes.
And
You know, it ended like most live streams with your friends, like drawing penises on your face and.
Did you fall asleep during it?
Yeah, I did at some point, like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then I had to wake up and do it in like a 4-hour podcast that day. So it was rough.
That's not good for you, is it?
No, it's bad. I definitely neglect myself. You see these like dark circles under my eyes? The secret is neglect.
Wow.
I'll tell you. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, did you get a lot of followers from that?
No, it was for a charity, so it was like somebody else's channel that I just joined in for. But I'll tell you why I think that Twitch and live programming, live content is going to be king, is because think about the business model, okay? On cable, the channels that drive the subscription cost are sports. And the reason is because people have to tune into sports to watch them live. And when you're watching live content, you can't skip the ads. And so that's why all of a sudden you see Twitter has Periscope, Facebook has Facebook Live, Instagram has Instagram Stories and Instagram Live, and all these platforms are pushing live. Is because when they start serving you ads, you can't tune them out.
Wow.
And so that's why Twitch is such a valuable and powerful platform, is because it is the leader in live programming online. And so it's something to, you know, Hollywood's still sleeping at the wheel, but when they wake up to it, they're going to realize this is where the future is.
We like to ask people where you started. Like, did you have the job at Subway? Like, where did you start
Like
before?
Rucka?
Where did you? When Rucka told us that, we were just in hysterics. What was your job before you started all this?
I've only had 2 jobs in my life.
Okay.
My first job was at KFC.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I was a cook.
You were a cook?
Yeah.
I'll never go there again.
Oh, it's really, you know, KFC, they make the best chicken. They really
do.
And I haven't worked there in like 20 years, but
I love it.
Yeah.
How long did you work there for?
Like 3 months, 3-4 months. And then I worked at a telemarketing company where I was a programmer for like 10 years.
There was a guy who worked at KFC with you. Do you know Artie Johnson?
I don't know Artie Johnson.
That's freelance. Okay. Way throwback, you know.
Yeah.
Trying to get somebody to.
Who's
one
Artie
guy.
Johnson?
It's Artie Johnson. Remember Ruth Buzzy from the last show? Same kind of person.
They
were on the show Laughing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you don't even know what Laughing is. Yeah.
Wasn't that like that was?
You don't know what Laughing is, right? No. Laughing. It was a TV show.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the verb.
No, the verb. Oh, my old. I'm 35, by the way.
Okay.
So you worked at KFC.
Yeah.
You worked there for 3 months.
Yeah.
You were a cook. Any great KFC stories?
Yeah, I was. So when they make mashed potatoes in units, right?
Love this already.
9:50 rolls around. They close at 10.
Right.
One customer comes through. They want mashed potatoes. We don't have any. So they said, okay, got to make some mashed potatoes. And I'm like, are you kidding me? There's this like tub. It looks like a keg of mashed potatoes. And they're like, yeah, we got to make that. I'm like, that just seems like a waste. Can we do a little? Like, no, stop arguing. I'm like, okay. So we make this giant thing of the mashed potatoes. They take a little scooper, take out one scoop, plop. Then they bring it to me to clean. And I'm holding this giant like keg of mashed potatoes, and I have like the dishwasher glove on, so I like dig in and I just start eating. I'm like, I'm just gonna do. And then the manager came by and he looks at me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I was just cleaning."
Oh, that's great.
Did you get in trouble after that, or?
I think he felt bad because like we were overworked and we couldn't even take lunch breaks. So he was like, "Oh, he's hungry." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm hungry. I want to eat some." But also like, it's a lot of mashed potatoes. Wouldn't you take a big? And I had the dish glove on, so I was like,
"Oh, that's Did you? Which one did you work at? Here in town, or
no? In Utah. Which, by the way, the very first KFC is in Utah.
I didn't know that.
My goodness. You learn something every day.
Yeah,
you get free chicken. Did you get to take home free chicken for your family?
That's what I got. Like the one thing.
You throw the chicken away?
No, they don't even throw it. They don't throw it away, which is good.
Okay, good.
But they use the chicken, the leftover chicken that's cooked for the end of the day. They tear it and then put it in the barbecue sauce for the next day. That's the barbecue chicken.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they shred it. And then the other reason they stopped letting cooks take the chicken home is because sometimes there were some dishonest cooks. They right before the place is supposed to close, they'll put in an extra order and they'll say, "Oh, we were just like trying to anticipate customers," and they're like, "No, you weren't. You were just trying to take some chicken home."
Oh my God! You know, you're telling all the secrets of KFC. Be careful when you walk to your car, because I heard the Colonel's going to kick your butt in the alley. He's going to beat the crap out of you.
Not Colonel Sanders. He's a good dude. 200
years old now. We love him. We love him.
Well, we have to wrap this up soon. But do you have any tips out there for the viewers who may want to start a Twitch or a YouTube or anything social media, since you do everything? What's your
what would you tell somebody? New in the game.
Engage with your fans. Okay. You know, sometimes you'll start a Twitch stream. Some people just starting out, they'll have like 5 to 10 followers who come in, and they're dedicated. They like you. They like your personality. Engage with them, because they'll return, and they'll be your seed to grow your fan base.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Really well, guys, this has been so awesome. You're watching How to Start with the amazing Maddox. He also has a podcast. Where can they find your podcast?
The Best Debate in the Universe. It's on Stitcher, iTunes, and YouTube. Check out the YouTube version, because then you can see the video version as well. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
And how do they find it on YouTube? Is it on your YouTube channel, or?
No, if you just search for Madcast Media or The Best Debate in the Universe. That's the easiest way. The Best Debate in the Universe, and you can find, we debate everything from whether or not you should have pineapple on pizzas to whether or not you should punch Nazis. So.
We like that.
I know we did a couple of shows.
Yeah.
We did the beauty pageant one.
That's right. Yeah.
Whether or not the Miss America should wear a bikini. What do you think?
Definitely. I'm old school.
Okay, yeah.
I love Me Too, but I'm old school.
For the tradition, of course.
Of course. Yeah. I'm all about that. You know what I'm saying? Free speech.
And I forget the first one we did. What was the first one?
I'm blanking on it too, but it was a really fun debate as well. But
he has very interesting topics that he covers on his shows.
We just debated. We had Blair White from YouTube on, and we debated whether or not it's possible to be authentic on YouTube, which is a big topic, because when you have the money motive, it kind of raises a question about why someone is being outraged.
Interesting. I feel like KFC. What do you think? Yeah,
KFC's good.
Some chicken right now.
Yeah, some original recipe.
Well, this has been so much fun.
Yeah,
this
awesome.
is great.
Thank you, Maddox.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to promote?
It's fine. You guys know where to find me, and it's probably better not to.
Okay.
All right, guys, you're watching How to Start.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Peace.